Blue Cross Bowl's run of high school football championship drama continues in the 1A title game as the Gordonsville Tigers take on the Mustangs of Huntington next. From Tucker Stadium on the campus of Tennessee Tech University, welcome to the Blue Cross Bowl's 1A championship game featuring 12-1 Gordonsville versus 12-2 Huntingdon. Hello, everybody. Mark Howard along with former Tennessee Titan and current Independence head coach Kevin Dyson. We are delighted to bring you this Class 1A showdown. And Kevin, let's first check out the Governor's Highway Safety keys to the game. First of all, what will it take for Huntington to win the championship?
Well, they got to ride the back of the horse that got him here, Jacob Warbritton. He's on the verge of breaking the state rushing record. And also, they got to make sure they impose their will. They got to go out there and go out there and show that single wing and run that offense to perfection.
As for the Big Blue Tigers, what about what they have to do to capture the big prize?
Well, they definitely got to rally and surround the football. I can't let Warbritton get off. Everybody in the building knows he's on the verge of breaking a record, and they got to be physical because it's going to be a physical game. They got backs themselves. They're closing in on rushing monuments.
All right, let's check out the players who'll be front and center in this game. First of all, for Huntington, Jacob Warbritton, the young man who makes this team go.
Yeah, he's closing in on that record. As I mentioned before, he's got 2,900 yards rushing, about 131 yards short of setting the state single-season rushing record.
And he's got some help in that backfield with young Glenn Hilliard.
He's the second leading rusher. He's got the second most carries on the team. He's closing in on 1,000 yards. So if you get over carried away, he's trying to stop Jacob, he's going to hurt you.
All right, for more on Huntington, let's hear from head coach Eric Swenson.
On the offensive side of the football, we're a single wing offense. We run a little bit of the spinner series and mostly power. Defensive side of the football, we're even front, split 4-4-3 type defense, and we'll play a cover 2 secondary.
On the other side, for Gordonsville, it starts with a quarterback named Peyton.
Yeah, but it's a different type of Peyton. This is a running Peyton. This is a quarterback who's more of a run-first type of guy who's closing in on 1,500 yards rushing himself.
And also in the backfield, Kalen Kaysen. What about him?
He's running into a monumental day himself. He's closing in on 2,000 yards between them. They got 2 carriers that are the same as Jacob Warbritton is closing in on 3,000 yards. So it's going to see interesting to see who imposes their will today.
All right, for more on the Tigers, let's hear from their head coach, Ron Moose Marshall.
Offensively, we're based out of an eye. We will run some gun. We have 2 running backs. Our quarterback is really a running back for us, and we have a really good tailback. Kaysen, he's about 139 yards away from having 2,000 yards this year. We've got several receivers that catch the football pretty good, and you know, we've scored a lot of points this year.
When we come back, the kickoff is minutes away. We'll retrace each team's journey through the brackets and give you the starting lineups on a beautiful football day in Cookeville.
The 2012 Blue Cross Bowl is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, proud corporate sponsor of the TSSAA, and by the Governor's Highway Safety Office, who reminds you don't drink and drive, and by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, and by Honda, wishing you happy Honda days, and by your local Tennessee public television stations, proud hosts of the 2012 TSSAA Blue Cross Bowl Championships.
Volunteering is so important because it's all about teamwork.
We do it because we want to give back.
We do it because we care.
We do it because we love where we live.
We do it because there's a need.
We do it because we should help one another.
Help preserve what we have today for the future generations.
I do it because I love it. We do it to remind us of what we have.
Makes me feel good. Makes me feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Take a moment out of your life to help someone else get through their life.
We do it to make a difference.
Our employees spend thousands of hours every year helping volunteer programs across the state. Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee is for Tennessee. See how Blue Cross is impacting your community at bcbst.com/impact.
Take me home tonight.
You can choose the back seat, or we'll choose one for you.
All right, we are closing it on kickoff, but just to check out some of the team stats between Huntington and Gordonsville, and some of the numbers are pretty revealing. First of all, you've got a prolific Huntington offense that is averaging over 46 points a game. On the other side for Gordonsville, you've got a really good defensive team that's giving up only about 13 points a game. So something has to give. A really good defensive team in the Tigers against a prolific offense in the Mustangs. Now let's check out each team's road to Cookeville. And again with Huntington, they averaged their average margin of victory in their 4 wins as they laid waste to all their opponents. 33 points was the average margin of victory. On the other side for Gordonsville, a close game after a first-round bye against South Pittsburgh, winning by 1. But then the Tigers rolled over Eagleville, and then a semifinal win over Cookeville by 24 points. Huntington has won the toss. They have elected to receive. So Gordonsville set to kick off. And we will be underway shortly here at Tucker Stadium on, again, a beautiful football day. Real quick, let's go down to the sidelines to the third member of our team. Again, adorned in his classic Stetson, Murphy Fair. What do you got, Murph?
Mike, thank you very much. Or excuse me, Mark. It's been 28 years since the Gordonsville Tigers played in the state championship game. It was 1984, called the Clinic Bowl at that time. It was held on the turf at Vanderbilt Stadium in Nashville. These Gordonsville fans, probably about 3,000 or 4,000 strong behind me, have waited a long, long time for this one, as have the fans at Huntingdon. It's been a while since they've won one, too. Should be an outstanding football game.
All right, Murph, and again, Glenn Hilliard is back as the deep man on his own 5-yard line. Gordonsville in blue. Tyler Cohen set to kick off. Tyler Cohen, by the way, a Tennessee Titan, Mr. Football. Jack of all trades. And Hilliard will field the kick on his own 8. Straight ahead across the 25 up to the 27. So we'll get our first look at Jacob Warbritton, who needs 131 yards, Kevin, as you mentioned, to break Powell's Deshaun Mobley's single season mark of 3,068 set last year. That's a lot of yards, a return of 20. And you see Jacob Warbritton's numbers, pretty prolific, especially on the ground, over 2,900 rushing yards. Again, they run that single wing. This literally is your grandfather's offense.
Woo, prehistoric offense right here.
And
there he is.
Breaking a tackle, getting to the second level, Warbritton across the 40. Kyle Ragsdale downfield for the tackle, but it's a first down for the Mustangs. 13 yards picked up on that first touch from Jacob Warbritton. Warbritton's a kid. His brother was the quarterback last year. He was on defense as an all-West safety. So a nice transition into the offense. They'll snap it from the 41. And there's Warbritton again. Smashes off left guard. Good second effort. Pushes ahead across the 45 to the 47. Dustin Holder coming up from his safety position to terminate the play. And let's check out some of the Huntington starters At that right tackle, you got Colin Pruitt with 21 pancake blocks this season. You got Warbritton and Hilliard, Stover, and Bush in the backfield. Pretty impressive trio. 6 yards picked up on the play. So it'll be 2nd down and 4. Inside handoff and pushing ahead across midfield up to the 45-yard line, Steve Stover. Stover, excellent blocker, strong runner. Gained just under 500 yards this season. And they've got the first down, 8 yards on that carry.
Just a little bit of a counteraction, you know, just something to give them a little bit, something to keep them honest. But we all know they want to keep that ball in the hands of 29.
Jacob Looper led the charge for the Tigers. But another first down for the Mustangs, who are moving the ball in the initial possession of the game. Again, getting the call is Stover. This time, nothing doing. Brandon McCoy, the right side linebacker, defeated his block and stopped Stover for no gain.
This is going to be a game of pride. You know, you talk about a team that pretty much is going to run the ball every snap, and they got to come up find a way to make a stop.
Defensively for Gordonsville, you got Tyler Cohen, the Tennessee Titan, Mr. Football, who has several college offers. The aforementioned Brandon McCoy as one of the 2 linebackers, and Watson and Drake McClain, 2 very good cornerbacks on this defense. 2nd down and 10. Warbritton smashes off left tackle. He'll get a few. Jacob Looper up from his safety station to drop him. It'll be 3rd down and long after a 4-yard pickup. And Kevin, again, Jacob Warbritton's numbers. He's a competitor.
Yeah. A lot of touches for a quarterback.
Exactly, which 366.
Which technically he's a running back, just happens to have the ball in his hand every snap.
3rd down and 6. Warbritton again spins, breaks the initial tackle, but is stopped at the 40. And it'll bring up 4th down. He picked up 3, but that was it.
Brandon McCoy, that was a good job. Just playing your run keys, squaring them up, hitting them in the hole, meeting them, and stopping them.
McCoy active early, Kevin. It'll be 4th down and about 2.5. And it looks like they're going to go for it. You've got Jesse Harris checking into the game at nose guard. So they're going to bring in an additional defensive lineman. And an early roll of the dice by Huntington. And movement up front. And that will prompt a flag, and for the first time we'll hear from our lead official, Thomas Rice, out of Region 1.
They get him with the shift. Yeah.
Sorry, Bobby Garrison.
Yeah, they got him with the shift right there.
All right, so it was an offside call and a first down for Huntington inside the 35. On first down, Warbritton, another keeper, probes the left side and gets across the 30 up to the 27.
He just
Nick Payne gets his nose in there for the first time after a gain of 6.
He kind of gets lost behind the lineman and trying to find a crease, gets his eyes open. You see there's a bunch of muck in there, and he just trying to find something to get there. But very good job by, I forget the kid's name you said, just getting his feet, getting his hands around his ankles, trying to grab something. But you can see he's trying to find him a crease, make a big play.
It'll be 2nd down and 5 after a pickup of 5. Warbritton again tests that left side. Gets stopped short of the 25, so it'll be 3rd down and about 3. And getting up off the bottom of the pile.
See,
assisting on the tackle.
Offenses like
Cohen.
this, man, they lull you to sleep because you run, and before you know it, there goes that pass over the top. So you definitely have to play your run keys, but at the same time, you want to sell out and stop the run. You're going to make somebody else beat you. If they're going to beat you passing, that's not their bread and butter, just so be it.
9th play of the drive. That was Tyler Cohen's first tackle. 3rd down and 2. Warbriton right up the middle, pushes ahead, close to the first down. Tyler Cohen again in on the tackle. He got some help there from Jesse Harris.
I mean, it's just a mess, you know. It's just getting much a push. And that hats off to the offensive line. They're getting pushed. You know, they're imposing their will right now and getting, you know, 3, 4, 5, 6 yards.
The 22.
Pickup of 3. So we are almost halfway through the first quarter.
Eating up that clock.
And Huntington, exactly, matriculating the ball down the field. And we're going to get our first time out of the game. Called by Huntington. So Kevin, it's been a lot of Jacob Warbriton. Now you can show your spirit by texting your school's keyword to 37048 Gordonsville. Your code is Bowl 5. Huntingdon, your code is Bowl 6. The school with the most votes at the end of the game will win a $1,000 donation from the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee. Standard text messaging rates apply. 1 vote per person, per phone rather, will be counted. Visit facebook.com/BCBST Champions for more updates. No score in the game almost midway through the first quarter. Huntington against Gordonsville in the Class 1A championship title game on a beautiful day for football at Tucker Stadium.
It is beautiful out
here at Tennessee Tech. Quickly on the sidelines, let's go to Murphy Fair.
Mark, if you look at the stands on the Gordonsville side, it's about 85% full. They sold 1,800 pregame tickets. The population of Gordonsville is not 1,800. That's the second highest number, only second to last year's Henry County in terms of pregame ticket sales since they've come to Cookeville with the Blue Cross Bowl.
Another flag thrown. Again, movement up front, and we'll hear from Bobby Garrison. Well, Huntington last won a title back in 2003. They won the 2A title over Lipscomb, 48-14. Another defensive penalty.
Yeah, we're tracking Warbriton. You know, he's got 7 carries, 38 yards to this point, so he's well on his way to breaking this state record.
And this record could fall more than once today.
Yeah, you think Jalen Hurd and Mark Dodson are paying attention to what he does today, because they're next in line to break the record.
On 1st and 5, Warbriton goes right side for the first time, breaks into the clear, and goes in for the touchdown. Jacob Warbriton scores his 42nd touchdown of the season, and Huntington gets on the board first.
You know, it looks like their version of power from that single wing, just quarterback power. You got lead blockers coming everywhere, and he pulled the guards from the backside, and he found him a crease.
And for the first time, we'll see Seth Fields attempt the extra point, and he's got it.
Ooh, that was close.
Like one of your wedges. So 7-0 in favor of Huntington. A drive that consumed 5 minutes and 50 seconds after the opening kickoff. And they were who we thought they were, Kevin.
Hey, they're a power football team, a single wing offense. They kind of get you muddled up in there, kind of get you to sell out and run. And you know, they'll be patient. They're going to take the 3, the 4, the 5, the 6 yards, and as you see it, eventually the levee's going to break, and he breaks for a long one.
You know, the drive, by the way, 10 plays, 72 yards, 5:50 elapsed. First championship game for Gordonsville, and Murphy talked about the excitement in the community there. They haven't been to a title game since 1984. As Murphy alluded to, 2 volunteer coaches on their staff, Gary Glover and Russell Bennett, played on that team. So a little bit of a connection there.
For the Mustangs, number 36, Seth Fields.
And there's the kickoff. Across the 10.
Ooh, good move.
Trying to spin out of trouble. Billy Newton.
Number 21.
That was actually Jacob Looper. So for the first time, we see Peyton Watson. And yes, he was named after Peyton Manning and Walter Payton. Told me that Monday.
Well, I see the number he wears too. They got to prime up. They got to come out here and answer the bell. You know, you're not gonna have a whole lot of opportunities if they continue to have ball control like they did, eating up clock. So they got to come out here and do what they do. They're a power offense, and they got a 2,000-yard back in themselves.
He has Nick Payne and Billy Newton behind him. And Watson keeps it across the 30 and run out of bounds at the 32-yard line. So a good initial play for Gordonsville as they try to answer that score.
You know, just a little fake power action.
Hilliard ran him out of bounds.
Actually, it's a fake counter action. Fake GT, pulled guard tackle from the backside. He came back like a naked boot type thing. Kept the backside flanker receiver in the block, and he gets a big game.
Picked up 15. Down to the 32. Peyton Watson, described by his coach as a great clutch player. His offensive line takes care of him. Here's the first give, and Newton busts through across the 40. Across the 45 into midfield. Billy Newton, 19 yards. That was actually Kalen Kaysen.
Hey, the 1-2 punch. They're doing a lot. What Britton does by himself, they're doing it in a 1-2 punch.
Here's the starting lineup for the Tigers. Up front, Tyler Cohen, of course, the Tennessee Titans, Mr. Football. You got Watson, you got Kaysen and Nick Payne in the backfield, a good receiver in Looper and Bush. And on first down, Watson keeps it, and he'll get minimal yardage. Colin Pruitt, big defensive tackle, there to terminate the play.
Led by Dylan Hindman.
There's the defense, and they've got some big bodies led by Pruitt and Dylan Hindman. A very good defensive end in Trevor Burleson. Tyler Bush in the middle at linebacker, and Hilliard and McCarty in the secondary. No gain on that play. It'll be second down and 10.
Yeah, keep an eye on Bush when he's talking about stopping this power offense. He's got 126 tackles and 10 sacks on the season.
And Kaysen got nowhere. Jake Sisk, outside linebacker who had 77 tackles this season, herded him down.
Just good pursuit. He got great push into the backfield. He got a good extension on his hands and be able to get off the block and make a play.
And Jake Sisk, a happy young man, happy human. Third down and 10. So the first real pressure point for the Tigers. No gain on that play. You see Caleb Bush flanked out to the far side. First probable passing down for Gordonsville, and we're going to get a timeout instead. So they're going to come to the sideline and talk about it with Coach Ron Marshall. Interesting note about Marshall. In the semifinal win over Cookeville, it was Marshall's birthday, and the Gordonsville fans serenaded him with happy birthday.
What a birthday gift.
55 years old, nicknamed the Moose. It's a perfect nickname for a football coach, isn't it?
I bet he was offensive lineman.
All right, next weekend, the TSSAA Network will again partner with the Tennessee Public Television Council stations to bring you complete live coverage of the 6th annual Toyota East-West Football All-Star Game at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern, right here from Tennessee Tech in Cookeville. Check your local PBS station for details. Again, third down and 10, and they've got more receivers out there. Austin Vayton is in the slot. Caleb Bush as well. Watson out of the gun. Throws, it's deflected and incomplete, intended for Jacob Looper. that'll bring up 4th down. And with it 4th and 10 from midfield, we'll probably get our first look at punter Nick Payne. By the way, Nick Payne and Cody Payne, the right tackle, not brothers, distant cousins.
Yeah. Big gamble
looks
right
like they're
here.
going for it on 4th down.
Maybe a punt.
Nope. Payne's going to punt it. And
Oh,
it's going to be a good one if they can down it.
They got to get to that one.
Inside the 5, up to the 1,
great
and
punt.
stop inside the 1. 48-yard punt. Boy, that was nicely done.
Great punt. I don't think you can draw that up any better.
Nice touch.
Oh, definitely. He got a little love from the turf here in Tennessee Tech.
They got the element of surprise, and they also got the good bounce, didn't they?
Very good bounce.
Like Kevin Dyson dropping the sand wedge within
I
a
knock
foot
him
of the
in
stick.
A foot? I'm about 6 inches.
All right.
I'm tapping in for birds.
Sorry, didn't mean to undersell you on that one.
Yeah, that's my next career, man. I'm going to the tour.
All right. Senior tour, 3:59 to go. And Jacob Warbriton got the length of the field. On 1st down, smashes off left guard, gets a couple yards. It'll be 2nd down and long.
Hey, Gordonsville has a good opportunity right here to get them out here, pin them deep, make them punt from their own end zone, and anything can happen from that point. We've seen craziness last year here in this stadium when you punt from that short side of the field like that.
So give them a yard. It'll be 2nd down and about 9. Now, you mentioned Warbriton. 218 yards rushing and 2 touchdowns against Nashville Christian in that semifinal conquest. On 2nd down, Warbriton again breaks loose across the 5. And finally herded down by Peyton Watson, his opposite number. Play picks up 3.
So this is what they had to do. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast about they had to rally and get to the football. They got to get hats on him. Because like we saw in the touchdown run, they didn't get hats over there, and he broke the big one. So this is a big 3rd down conversion for both sides of the ball right here.
They don't throw the ball very often, does Huntington. They don't have to when you're scoring 46 a game. See those 2 big tackles. Andy Garcia-Romo and Cody Payne for Gordonsville, and we got a timeout call. 2:38 to go in the 1st quarter. 2nd timeout called by Huntington. So they're pretty deliberate. You know, Kevin, they picked up the single wing a couple of years ago from Apopka, Florida High School, and they've added to it a little bit. The first game they ran the single wing, they fumbled 11 times. Woo. 11 times.
That would discourage me. I'd run something different after that.
So they've improved somewhat.
Yeah, yeah, somewhat. They got a guy about to set this record, but.
Now beneath Tennessee's Cumberland Mountains lies the world's most magical musical adventure. 333 feet deep in the Volcano Room, music from the heart of the American experience. Tune in for Bluegrass Underground on this PBS station. Little toe-tapping music there.
Yeah, that's a hard thing to do as a coach, to find something that your kids can relate to and execute. You know, you might have some stuff that you want to do, but they just might not be able to comprehend it or execute it to the way you like. And so he's found something in this single wing offense that's fitting his personality of his players.
On 3rd down and a long 5, Warbriton pushing across the 10. It looks like he's got the first down. Little one-on-one battle with Brandon McCoy, and they might have to measure. It looks like a 1st down.
He runs hard. For a little bitty guy, he runs very hard.
They got it. They didn't even need to bring the chains in. So that is a big conversion for Jacob Warbriton.
Attention once again, you must move away from the
as he continues his march on Deshaun Mobley's single season rushing mark of 3,068, adds 6 more to Warbriton's ledger. He's got 6 carries for 66 yards, so he's 65 yards away. I like his chances. It's a 1st and 10 for the Mustangs. Warbriton does the spin and a flag on the play. Let's see if Huntington picks up its first penalty.
Good ball foul. Delay a game.
So they'll march it back 5 yards. It'll be 1st and 15.
That kind of negate this could negate that big first down they just got to dig themselves out of that hole being inside the 1.
First infraction against the Mustangs. Like Taylor McCarty must feel like the Maytag man. He's the wide receiver.
That old Nebraska offense.
And on 1st down, Glenn Hilliard gets the call, and he stopped for no gain. So the Gordonsville defense answers. Another form tackle by Brandon McCoy. McCoy gets them lined up on defense. According to Coach Ron Marshall. It'll be 2nd and 15, and Warbriton again, a minimal gain. So it'll be 3rd down and long, and a good setup here after a 2-yard gain for the Gordonsville defense. They might actually have to look pass on this play.
Yeah, I doubt he will. I don't think he wants to take a chance and maybe throw the ball up for grabs and give him even shorter field. So he's going to go ahead and probably just run on his power plays and get about 4 or 5 yards and maybe bust it like he did in the touchdown run.
Now Warbriton's thrown it only 63 times this year. But they're lined up in a tight formation. We'll see what they do here. Warbriton left, and no way.
I believe that Gordonsville's going to come after this punt. They're going to try to.
Brandon McCoy, loss of 4, made that tackle. McCoy racking up the tackles early as we're in the final 30 seconds of this first quarter.
I think Huntington's going to go ahead and let this clock run down if they can.
Kevin, remember last year when they had that crazy wind?
Oh, yeah.
Where Whitehaven
had the negative
punt. I know. That was.
As I said, crazy things happen on the short side of this field on this side down here in Tennessee Tech.
Twilight Zone-esque. Getting the punt away and down to the 40-yard line. Getting the favorable bounce, Seth Fields. So great field position for Gordonsville. They'll start at the 46 of Huntington as the first quarter comes to an end. So Huntington leading in this game 7-0, but Gordonsville again, great field position, a short field. Again, beautiful day here in Cookeville.
Purchase pictures from the BlueCross Mall at www.actiontennessee.com.
Hello, I'm Tara Tansel Gentry from the University of Tennessee at Martin, and I've lived in the sports world most of my life. As a player, teacher, and coach, I've always known that my PBS station was there, with its coverage of the high school games like you're seeing today, or a documentary of sports greats. PBS is the best television has to offer. Please join me in saying thank you by calling the number on your screen and making a pledge of support. I love my PBS. Don't you?
Hello, I'm Paul Grove. WTCI is proud to provide educational programs and services to the greater Tennessee Valley. From Cleveland and Athens to Chattanooga and Dayton, WTCI helps enhance the growth of our region. Our Ready to Learn initiative, local programs, our new media lab, they're all designed to educate, engage, and inspire our community. High school sports play an important role and can teach valuable life lessons to our children as well. We hope you enjoy this year's state championships, and we thank you for supporting your PBS stations here in Tennessee.
Hi, I'm Vicki Lawson, President of East Tennessee PBS. I wanted to share with you our hopes for this year's TSSAA State Football Championships. East Tennessee PBS believes in healthy, lifelong learning, and the athletic programs are an important part of everyone's high school experience. Many of the fans, cheerleaders, and players in these championships will be participating in their last game. So please have a little patience and enjoy the games and watch these great student athletes.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
Nice shot of scenic Cookeville as we begin the second quarter. Huntington leading Gordonsville 7-0 here in the Class 1A state championship game. Real quickly, let's go down to the sidelines to Murphy Fair. What do you got, Murph?
Mark, thanks very much. We have Catherine Smith with Blue Cross Blue Shield, one of the TSSAA partners, sponsors, if you will. Nice to see you again, Catherine. I know you've got a text message for Gordonsville and Huntington fans.
Yes, we're having our annual fan face-off contest. It's just to try and bring a little school spirit and community involvement to support these teams playing today. So if you text to 37048, you could win your school $1,000. If you're supporting Gordonsville, your code is BOWL5. Huntington is BOWL6. So please send votes. Yesterday we had something as close as 10 votes separating a $1,000 gift. So be sure and make your vote count.
Mark, I'm going to do my texting right now. You go ahead and do yours too, okay?
Get those thumbs going, Murph. And Kalen gets the call to start the second quarter. Kalen Kaysen, who had almost 2,000 yards, 1868 to be exact. And he busted ahead for 4 yards on that play. Checking the first quarter stats, obviously Huntington with the edge in total offense, and all of it on the ground. Neither team with a passing yard nor a passing attempt. On 2nd down and 6, it's Kaysen again getting the call, and he picks up 3. It'll be 3rd down and short for the Tigers.
They got a short field. They got to take advantage of this opportunity to knock this thing up.
Gordonsville has been a team with focus this season. They had 3-day-a-week summer workouts, well attended, according to Coach Marshall. And now Peyton Watson is looking at 3rd down and 3. And getting stopped in the backfield, Kaysen. A great play by Tyler Bush, their middle linebacker. And rock on defense. He had 126 tackles this season and 10 sacks. Pretty impressive resume. Loss of 2. It'll bring up 4th down and about 5.
Just a Mike Bullock 8-gap blitz. He just got through. They couldn't pick it up.
That'll bring out Nick Payne, who had a terrific punt last time. Got it all the way to the 1-yard line. Again, Payne almost blocked. This one not quite as effective. So that punt only 16 yards. And Huntington will set up shop just outside their own 20 early in the second quarter with a 7-0 lead. So here comes Jacob Warbriton. As we mentioned, 65 yards away from breaking Powell's Deshaun Mobley's single-season rushing mark of 3,068. Out of that single wing, Warbriton spins. He's going to look to throw. He falls down. Nearly stumbles, recovers. Warbriton has some room down the sidelines across the 40 and all the way down to the 44, finally bringing him down. Chasing him down from behind was Andy Garcia-Romo, the nose guard, after a 21-yard gain and a 1st down for Huntington on a play that was nearly a disaster for the Mustangs.
he turned something out of nothing. You know, He's what good football players do. You know, they're going to find something that's not there. They're going to make it happen. And, you know, they're actually calling a pass play, him making something happen out of that.
Inside handoff to Steve Stover. Gets across the 46.
Just to keep him honest, because you know, I guarantee Warbritton's probably getting his next carry.
Cody Payne there to wrap him up. 4-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd and 6. And you see Jacob Warbritton's numbers that he's already posted in this game. On 2nd down. And this time getting that direct snap and trying to move ahead was Kenneth Pruitt, the backup running back.
Early on, the storyline is not only the Warbritton and watching him and if he's closing in on this record, but third down. Third down conversions for both teams. Gordonsville hasn't been able to convert their third downs. That's why they begin on the field and they've punted. And Huntington has been able to convert. Other than that one time they were backed up, they've been able to convert third downs.
It'll be 3rd and a long 4. Warbritton gets the snap. He's going to be short of the first down as he gets across midfield. But that's it.
4 down territory.
Andy Garcia-Romo again racking up another tackle. A 3-yard gain. It'll be 4th down and 2. And a big decision here for Huntington and Coach Eric Swenson. Already in front, 7-0. The Mustangs look like they're going for it. They've got a lot of confidence in their short yardage offense.
Try to get them with the shift again.
And Warbritton calls a timeout, and I believe that's their final timeout of the half, Kevin.
That was, one of those plays. They're trying to get them to shift, because they've done it twice and they've got them to jump off sides. And when they didn't do it, they didn't have a play call for that just in case it didn't happen.
Well,
want to see the most exciting plays from today's game.
And Kevin, as you mentioned, you saw them shift.
Yeah, they didn't have a play call. They were hoping to get them jump outside, and if they didn't, they're going to call timeout and probably dial up a punt, pin them deep, because Gordonsville has not moved the ball consistently on them. So, pin them deep, have opportunity to pin them deep, make them go to field on you to tie this game up.
Just under 8 minutes to go here in the second quarter, 7-0 Huntington. And well, it's been an entertaining game despite the lack of aerial pyrotechnics. We had the threat of a pass by Huntington, a stumble and a recovery, and a big game
being a run play
by Jacob Warbritton. High expectations for this Huntington team. They expected a deep playoff run. This is a veteran team. For instance, 4 of their 5 starters on the offensive line are seniors. The other one, Austin Sampson, is a junior. So we have Seth Fields back in punt formation. Gets his foot into it.
That's a great punt. Oh!
And it'll bounce into the end zone. Jacob Looper was back there after a 49-yard punt, but decided to let it go, wisely deciding to let it go. And Gordonsville will get the ball back, down a touchdown at their own 20-yard line. We mentioned a lot of good defense so far in this contest. First of all, for Gordonsville.
Yeah, they had a couple opportunities they actually tackled for a loss, but right now,
Tyler Cohen there with that stop.
Huntington is winning the battle up front. They're winning the physical battle of opposing their will, getting pushed.
Kalen Kaysen trying to leap over a defender, gets out of bounds after a 7-yard gain. It'll be 2nd down and 3. Trying to hurdle a tackler.
He's a good athlete too. Obviously, you don't rush for 2,000 yards in season and not be a phenomenal athlete. He's got his own pride at stake right here. Everybody here wants to win this championship, but again, going back to Warbritton, this guy's on defense as well. You're talking about conditioning. This kid has to be a well-conditioned athlete to be playing on both sides of the ball every snap.
On 2nd down, a long 3. And busting out of a tackle, getting across the 40, across the 50, and finally ridden out of bounds at the 40, Kalen Kaysen. Looked like the play had ended, and he busted loose for the biggest gain of the game for Gordonsville, 38 yards.
Looked like it was an off-tackle play, just powered to the left side there, and he saw the cutback lane and a bunch of missed tackles. You know, you got to wrap up a good running back up, and he made it a foot race to the edge. The sideline guy got him with the angle.
You talk to the Gordonsville people, they'll tell you that Kaysen is the type of kid, does the extra set in the weight room. He is fast, but you saw there he lowers his shoulder and runs. Just good old-fashioned running. Watson on the roll, stopped. Great tackle there by Logan Diebold, who had 126 total tackles this season. TFL, tackle for loss, -8.
Man, that's huge. They kind of went back to the well, play to work there. There's a counter naked. Everything looks like you're running a counter back here to the right side. You pull the front backside guard and then try to lead block for the naked boot. And he read it perfectly this time.
That could be a drive changer. 2nd and 18. Now suddenly we might see Peyton Watson hoist it. And a timeout called by Gordonsville. Well, they're gonna go into the locker room without any timeouts. Use them or lose them, I guess, huh?
You're gonna have to. Everybody. Well, the way this game's going, you might not need them anyway. I mean, everybody's pretty much ball control, keeping the clock moving. This is a fast first half.
6:49 to go in the second quarter. Join the conversation about high school sports not only in Tennessee, but across the country. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at Play On Sports. And you can also check out highlights and full game replays at youtube.com/PlayOnSportsNetwork. You get to see Kevin Dyson as many times as you want to. So when they snap, it'll be 2nd and 18. And for Gordonsville, this has been a program that has climbed the ladder. And they felt like their breakthrough win was against South Pittsburgh in the second round of the playoffs after that first round bye, 14-13, over a Pirates program that we have seen often on championship weekend. So on 2nd and 18, out of the eye. Watson, play action.
Crosser right there.
Oh. Throws it down the middle of the field. Incomplete.
If he just puts that ball on him, they have a big play, kind of put a lot of air under it. If he puts that on him, he catches that running still.
Intended for Jacob Looper, but Kenneth Pruitt down there to bat it down.
Yeah, that's a good play call. Good play action. Everybody's selling out to stop the run. He had the guy open. He kind of just ballooned it up there and put a lot of air on to give the defender an opportunity to make a play.
So 3rd down and 18. We might see him throw it again. Austin Vaden, another wide receiver, checks in. Kalen Kaysen comes out of the game. So they'll send 3 receivers to the far side.
Green.
Oh, we're going to see a throwback.
Double pass.
And a bad pass.
It was
That's
there.
A lateral.
It was there, too.
Nick Payne was going to throw the ball, and that is a legal lateral. Loss of 9.
Oh, it was there. It was set up perfectly. That's one of those plays you kind of have in your bag of tricks. You called for an opportunity to break the game open or to, in this case, knock the game up, but missed opportunities again for the Gordonsville team.
And the guy next to me caught a somewhat famous lateral. All right, on 4th down, we'll see Nick Payne punt the ball this time. His 3rd opportunity, and it will stop dead just outside the 20. So a good idea. They just couldn't execute it. And with a little bit less than 6.5 minutes to go, Jacob Warburton brings his Huntington offense back out on the field. Huntington leading in this game 7-0, but they've also been getting it done on defense. You see Kalen Kaysen bottled up and stopped on that play. And then, of course, Diebold with the great tackle on Peyton Watson. First down, getting the call, getting across the 30.
Number 11
is Glenn Hilliard. So a pretty good pickup on first down, and Hilliard, only a sophomore, first year on the varsity, has gradually gotten better. And Kevin, you know this as a coach, the game has slowed down for him a little bit. Picked up 9 on that play.
Oh yeah, you kind of get overwhelmed your first few times playing under the lights, where it's for keeps, and you're playing with guys who've already done it, playing with seniors. You not want to let them down. You know, but after a while you start settling down and learn your role as a player, and you get comfortable and confident.
It's either a first down or second down and short, but they want the chain gang to make it official. We get our first measurement of the game. He didn't get 9, he got 10. So a chain mover for the Mustangs in this 7-0 contest.
I think both coaches can feel comfortable at the way the game is going right now. I think for Gordonsville, you talk about missed opportunities. You know, they had the double pass that was there.
Warburton with room to run.
Well, that power play again.
Up to the 43, 11 more for Jacob Warburton.
And then for Huntington, it's just a matter of execution. Just continue to run the football. They're keeping that clock moving, and as long as they have to think, they're okay.
Nice surge by his friends up front for Jacob Warburton. Opening up the holes, that offensive line.
Yeah,
especially on the right side. Trevor Burleson and Colin Pruitt really leading that charge.
Yeah, they're very well coached. They just come off the ball, lower their heads, and get them in hips and just drive the feet.
After another first down, low snap, a 2-yard pickup.
On the keeper, Cody Payne, number 77.
And Cody Payne getting credit for that stop. So the play picks up about 3. It'll be second down and 7.
At the 46. Second down.
Ball nested at the 46. Great turnout for this game. On second and 7, little inside handoff. And jitterbugging ahead to the 49-yard line. Steve Stover.
Another crucial third down right here.
So we're looking at third down and about 4. Stover getting that call. Ran into a big blue wall. Nick Payne leading that charge. And another official's timeout.
Well, that helps out Huntington because they're out of timeouts.
Yes. So they get a freebie here. Might be an equipment adjustment. Jacob Warburton active as we expected today. He's got 104 rushing yards.
Wow.
On 17 carries.
I guess we kind of figured he was going to break the record today, but he was closing in on it in the first half. I thought it'd be more of a second half type accomplishment, but congratulations to him and his staff, the offensive linemen, and everybody else, because it's definitely a shared accomplishment.
And he has the only tally in this 7-0 game. But this time getting the call and getting across midfield and up to the 46. Glenn Hilliard, and another first down for the Mustangs. So while the Gordonsville defense seemed to be keying on Warburton, he hands it off to Hilliard, and Hilliard gets the job done.
Good counter play. Just a change up from the norm, what they've been doing, that power. They come up a counter off of that power play.
Jacob Looper gets credit for the tackle.
Power
Warburton
again.
on first down. Inside the 40 up to the 37. Another good pickup on first down.
You know, in order to be able to run power or any type of power type offense, you have to get push up front. And right now, you got to say Huntington's winning the battle up front. They're imposing their will. They're the ones winning the battle up front. They are a little bit more physical at this point in the game.
It'll be 2nd down and 2 when Huntington snaps the ball. Brett Jackson, the center for the Mustangs. Warbritton again has the 1st down. It's met by Jesse Harris, a nose guard. But again, that'll move the chains for the Mustangs.
Another power play, just getting pushed, just trying to get what you can get. It's about keeping them chains moving. You know, not every time, not every play is designed to get a home run. You know, that one's designed to get the 1st down. Now you work with another set of downs.
Well, they're successfully draining the clock and moving the football on the Mustangs. Warbritton on 1st down, right side, spins out of a tackle inside the 25-yard line. Another big pickup for Jacob Warbritton, 9 yards on that trip.
So he's about, what, 10, 15 yards away from the record now.
He's got 124 yards, so he needs 7.
Huh.
It'll be 2nd down and 1. Warbritton again, right side. Pushes ahead inside the 20. Another 1st down. Zach Jackson up from his cornerback spot. Ended that journey. Go ahead.
Bearing something dramatic happening at this point. We congratulate the Warbritton family and Jacob for his accomplishment of setting a new rushing standard. And I know Jalen's probably in his room or somewhere watching this game trying to figure out the number he's got to put up tonight. Not that he wouldn't mind state championship rather than a number as well. And also, you know, Mark Dawson also another opportunity to set the mark as well. But again, all 3 of those gentlemen, congratulations to them, but I'm sure they all would rather have to take the gold ball home as opposed to the record.
Yeah, he might just be renting it, but regardless, Warbritton is having a great performance with 3 yards on that latest pickup. And he's got the record. He needed 131. He's got 133.
I believe of the 3, he was the furthest away. I think Hurd was the 2nd furthest, and Dawson was the 1st furthest away from setting the mark. So, again, he has a whole other half of football to reset this mark. So it's going to be interesting to see if the guys can match him or pass him.
Well, Warbritton got 1 on that carry, and it brings up a big 3rd and 6 at the 15-yard line.
You know, 3rd down's been the tail of the tape right now. It's been what's been helping Huntington win this football game, and it's probably kept Gordonsville from scoring some points.
Well, Warbritton got nothing there. He tried the right side, and slicing in to stop him was a great play by Jacob Looper, and Noah King, the defensive end, was the one who really terminated that play. So it'll bring up 4th down, and you wonder if they'll try the field goal with Seth Fields.
He's out there, so we'll see. This is a prime opportunity to run a fake too now.
Actually, there's the kick try, and it's blocked.
Scoop and score.
To midfield.
No.
All the way down, and taking it in for the touchdown will be Glenn Hilliard, and we've got a tie game.
Wow. That is sport at its best. That is football. That is the epitome of ups and down, the roller coaster of football right there. You highs, you're controlling the clock, you're moving the football, and then a special teams play changes the momentum of the game.
3 seconds ago, that was Kyle Ragsdale, who took the block kick all the way in for the touchdown. So is that 3 seconds to go in the half, or is it 3 minutes? I guess it's 3 minutes to go.
It's 3 seconds.
It is 3 seconds to go.
And you know what, Mark? Even more, if this play stands, and there's a flag on the field, this play stands, they get the ball back at half. So that play is so much more monumental, even aside from the fact that they take points away from Huntington. If this stands, looks like it's going to, If it stands, they get the points, and then they get the ball to half, and that changes a game that I feel like Huntington has pretty much been in control of.
10 yards.
Kyle Ragsdale taking it the distance.
Oh, it did not stand. Looks like
so a bad block, and really an unnecessary
Illegal block in the back.
Wow.
During the return, first down.
I wish we could see that replay. I'd be curious to see who that was. I mean, why? He was ahead of the defense. He was ahead of everybody with no sense to even try to make a block.
So a 79-yard return by Ragsdale nullified. Austin Herrera's field goal attempt was blocked.
That's deflated. You know, now you're talking about 3 seconds left to try to get points on the board where you thought you had a chance to tie the game up. But going to halftime is a one-score game instead of a two-score game.
Well, Peyton Watson brings his team back on the field. And Gordonsville will call their final timeout. And we'll see what they'll try to conjure up here just before halftime.
Oh, man, that is kind of disheartening for both head coaches. I know the feeling. You know, you're talking about we moved the football down. We got a chance to make this a two-score game right before the half. And then you get a blocked field goal, a special teams play. And then you think you have an opportunity to tie the game up. And then there's a penalty on. There was an unnecessary penalty. You're blocking for what? The guy was ahead of everybody. No sense even trying to attempt to make a block. And then now you're looking at 3 seconds trying to go 39 yards for a score. You do get the ball back at half, but you hadn't moved the ball consistently enough all game long, you know. So, but there are halftime adjustments, and we'll see who adjusts better. And maybe they come out here in the first down, second half, and move the ball down the field.
So Watson and throw deep down the right side, and it's incomplete. Intended for Caleb Bush. And that's the end of the half. So a touchdown comes off the board after Kyle Ragsdale took a blocked field goal for an apparent touchdown. So going into halftime, Huntington leads Gordonsville 7-0 for the 1A championship.
You can choose the back seat, or we'll choose one for you.
We can get a player up here. Oh, that's good stuff. All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Want to know what it feels like watching sports on Xfinity from Comcast? It's like having a front row seat to all the action. The biggest hits, catches, home runs, and touchdowns. The moment they happen. When you have the most live sports, the best seat in the house is in your house.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
We're gonna come at you.
One shot at this.
All right, welcome back. 7-0. Huntington leading Gordonsville at halftime of the Class 1A championship game. Let's go down on the field to Murphy Fair, who just minutes ago spoke to Huntington's coach, Eric Swenson.
Thanks, Mark. Eric Swenson, the head coach of Huntington. Kind of the chess match we expected. I know you'd like to see it 14-0, but it could be 7-7.
It could be. Last drive right there, we should have stuck that in. I thought we had a good play call, and we didn't. And, we'll come out in the second half and fight to get this thing under control. And they've just got excellent defense, man. They're playing us to the hilt.
Your offense seems to be moving the ball. Special alignments or changes you want to make on the defensive side?
No, I think defensively right now we're playing good football. We're making some big plays, and we've just got to hang on. We had 7 wrapped up in the backfield and let him go for one big gain. Right now we're controlling the clock, and that's kind of the way we like to keep it.
Thanks, Eric. Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Eric?
All right, thanks a lot, Murph. And, in this game, which has been extremely tight, first of all, the only score of the game from Jacob Warbritton, who, as we mentioned, at least for now, has passed Powell's Deshaun Mobley and his single-season mark rushing of 3,068 yards. So that has been surpassed by the senior quarterback of the Mustangs. And on the other side, Peyton Watson has had some opportunities. And, of course, the nullified touchdown on the blocked field goal return by Kyle Ragsdale. And that has characterized this game so far between Gordonsville and Huntington. Let's go back down on the field to Murphy Fair. What do you got, Murph?
Mark, we've got Mike Henson, the principal at Huntington High School, with us. First of all, Mike, welcome to the broadcast.
Thanks a lot. Glad to be here. Great day for football.
Well, I know, as in the case of Gordonsville and Huntington, probably not many people there left, and high school football is a big part of the community of Huntington.
It is. I don't know who's guarding the town today. We sold almost 1,000 tickets this week, and our support from our community is it's outstanding.
I know a lot of administrators tell me as the football team goes, so goes the school year, and Huntington has had a great season here in 2012, and I know that means great things in the hallways and classrooms of HHS.
It is. At Huntington, as you said, you're right. As the football team goes, that's how they think the school's going, and how the school's going is how the community's going. That's perception. But this was supposed to have been a rebuilding year, so to speak, and these kids are they just don't quit, and it's just been great for our school and, like I said, our community, what's going on this year.
Sounds like I could be the agent for Eric Swenson and negotiate for a pay raise here.
Well, I'll turn that over to Miss Dillahunty, okay?
Mike, thanks so much for your time. Best of luck to you guys in the second half, and you all have a safe trip home and great holiday season.
Thanks a lot. Thanks, Murphy.
Mike Henson, the principal at Huntington High School, obviously very proud of his Mustangs. We'll be back with his counterpart at Gordonsville High School and more right after this. Back on the campus of Tennessee Tech, 7-0, a great start to 3 games here on Friday afternoon for the BlueCross Bowl on the campus of Tech. 7-0, Huntington on top, but the Gordonsville Tigers, according to their principal here, still have a whole lot more in their arsenal. Lynette Horde, our special guest now. And Lynette, welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here, and it's an honor to be a part of these kids' life and what's going on with them today.
It's incredible. I've already alluded to the number of preseason or pregame ticket sales that you had at Gordonsville. About twice the population of the city of Gordonsville, and that just goes to show you how strong football is at GHS.
It's strong at GHS, but also countywide. We have a lot of support, as you can see, and from other schools, and lots of people out here supporting these boys.
Talking about the schools, I understand earlier this week the school board met and decided to turn out schools countywide because there were so many people from the north side of Smith County that wanted to come and cheer on the Gordonsville Tigers.
Exactly. It was beneficial for all of us. We had to make that day up, of course, but so many of the feeder schools had these kids in their school, in grade school, and it was only best for them to be a part of a big dream of these boys.
It's a very special place at Gordonsville. Annette was probably a student when I was broadcasting Gordonsville games myself many years ago. But there's a lot of great things going on at GHS. Any in particular you'd like to talk about today?
Oh, I've got a great staff. They work hard for these kids. It's not all sports. Academics work hard to make sure these kids are ready for college. We've got a great Tiger TV program. They work with cameras every day and do a great broadcast. CTE programs. We have dual enrollment classes, AP classes, so a lot for these kids, and growing every day with more things for them.
Annette, thank you so much for your time. You represented Gordonsville High School very well, and we wish you well in the second half.
Thank you, and thanks for having me, and I know these boys are going to come out and play like warriors. I've seen them do that many times after halftime.
7-0, Gordonsville on the short end of the scoreboard right now, but still 24 minutes of football action still left here at Tennessee Tech. In the first of 3 games today, it's time now for a pledge drive from your local PBS station. Some very important messages coming your way.
Hello and welcome. I'm Nicole Abiosi from WTCI in Chattanooga. We're here covering the TSSAA High School Championship games with the BlueCross Bowl, and we're right at halftime for Huntingdon. And Sonia, why don't you talk about the other team that's in the game today?
Thanks, Nicole. I'm Sonia here with WCTE Upper Cumberland PBS, and yes, we are very excited to have Gordonsville Tigers in the championship game today. And you know, WCTE is the presenting station here for Gordonsville. We are the station of the Upper Cumberland, and we are thrilled to have them in this championship game today, Nicole.
That's very good. And Huntingdon is actually from Martin, which is another one of our local Tennessee PBS stations. So we wanted to make sure we give a shout out to them today and say welcome.
That's right. And you know, Nicole, our stations are partnering together to send this out statewide. And, you know, we enjoy doing this for these games. And I know that those people who are unable to make the trip here today are, I'm sure, enjoying to seeing not only the football game, but also coverage of the bands behind us as well.
That's right. It's a great partnership that the Tennessee PBS stations are currently working on together to bring these stations across these games across the state and bringing this game coverage for the families and friends of the teammates who can't be here. Of course, there are a lot of people here today, a lot of support for these teams, and we're just really proud of the local high school players and students and, you know, the people who have really rallied around them to come and be here and support, and those of you who are watching also to support them.
Yes, and I know that they have really been dedicated athletes to get here, and you know, we have some great gifts that you'll be showing here in just a little bit, but if you are interested in getting something for your athlete today, be sure and call the number that you'll see in just a little bit going across your screen, or if you just want to donate to your local PBS station, then just, you know, be sure and do that as well today.
And please do that. We encourage you, if you're watching today, to make a contribution, because those donations really help us continue to do this. This is a great partnership between the Tennessee PBS stations, and you know, we love doing it, we love offering it, but we can't do it for free. We really rely on the support of members and of people like you who are watching. If you think this is important, please give us a call and let us know. Make a donation and just tell us that you appreciate us bringing these games to you, bringing them into your living room, because we could not do it without you.
That's right. This is actually the third year that we have partnered together to bring these games to you statewide across the state, and we have enjoyed bringing them out. But as Nicole said, this is something that is a cost to the stations to broadcast, and every membership dollar that you send goes into the programming that we provide for you, and this is a great asset to the stations, and we would like to continue to do so. So just call in your membership dollars today.
And another thing, you know, if you're a PBS viewer, usually you may not be, maybe you're just tuning in today to see these games, but if you're a regular viewer, you know, we're glad to have you, glad that you're watching, but you may have noticed that, you know, we have another Tennessee PBS station that we're airing in partnership with the other stations in the area, and that allows us to really bring programming from local specific areas like Chattanooga or Cookeville to all the other counties in Tennessee as well. So it's just a great effort, great partnership, just great team effort for all the PBS stations together.
And I know, speaking of what we've done in collaboration together, and not only do we have that Tennessee channel, but we also have like different projects we've worked together, the Race to the Top grant,
that's right,
American Graduate, and I know you've really been instrumental at your station, Nicole, with that Race to the Top grant.
That's right, that's right. Well, we're working on some customized learning objects which help teachers in the classroom and really parents who are trying to help their students maybe at home with homework. Just brings in all kinds of topics and subjects that you can have access to that make things simpler and easier to learn. So PBS stations in the Tennessee region, in the state of Tennessee, are really doing a lot to reach into our communities and, you know, make things happen. It's not just what you see on the air. We're very much beyond the screen as well.
That's right. And I know that we want to probably go over these premium thank you gifts that we have available today. So we have different ones available, but just remember, you can always call in your support at any level. So we have the DVD of the game of your choice. You have a knit hat, which will keep you warm on these chilly days. The stadium blanket, you can always just wrap up and keep warm on these chilly afternoons or even these nights when the temperature drops. That's right, Nicole, especially tonight. We have the stadium seat, which is very comfortable when you get on these nights, and then a combo package of all of the above. So be sure, just call into that number at the bottom of your screen and pledge your support to your local station today. Thanks a lot and enjoy the game.
Hi, I'm Paula Kerger, President and CEO of PBS. On behalf of this PBS station, thanks to all of you who made a contribution during our recent fundraising campaign. Your donation will help us continue to bring you the great programs you've come to expect from this PBS station every day. I have one more request. Congress is considering budget cuts that will eliminate federal funding for this PBS station. If you want to learn more about this threat, go to 170millionamericans.org and find out what you can do to ensure that the programs you love will always be here. Thanks again for your contribution today, and thanks for all the support you provide this PBS station.
People in East Tennessee love history because it's all around them. It's part of their own personal history, and history gets exciting when it's personal. People in East Tennessee are surrounded by their history. They live with it every day. They talk about it in their families. It's part of their daily life. And East Tennesseans connect to history and to the land in a very special way. I'm Cheryl Henderson, Director of the East Tennessee Historical Society, and the Tennessee Channel is my source for the past, the present, and the future.
In the making, a natural space and pure acoustics offer music from the heart of the American experience. Bluegrass Underground, 333 feet deep in the volcano room. A little bit bluegrass, a little bit underground. Bluegrass Underground.
Give me just one more last chance before you see me through.
What makes our state unique? Find out on the new Tennessee Channel, a statewide initiative by your public television stations. Each program is created in Tennessee, about Tennessee, and broadcast in Tennessee.
Welcome back. We're at halftime of the 1A championship game. Huntingdon leading Gordonsville by a score of 7-0. Mark Howard along with Kevin Dyson. And if we check out some of the highlights of this game, they've really been, it's really been Warbriton, Jacob Warbriton, the quarterback for Huntingdon, who's really been dominant today. well over 100 yards rushing. And you see him running that single wing, and Kevin scoring the only touchdown in the game.
Yeah, just their power play that they've been running over and over again, and just kind of one of those times where the levee finally broke. And their defense playing sound. You know, Tyler Bush making that tackle for loss there, and then you know, the guys are just coming, just imposing their will up front. They are winning the battle up front right now.
And Case and Kalen.
Just the one.
Case and busting loose on that one big play for Gordonsville.
Yeah, one of the big plays of the day. I think the biggest play is the play that actually didn't count. The blocked field goal and the negated touchdown from the penalty. That might be the biggest play of the other game so far.
And Kyle Ragsdale had the nullified touchdown, as you mentioned. But these highlights and stats brought to you by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. Get exclusive coverage of the 2012 Blue Cross Bowl football championships on Xfinity On Demand. Let's go back down on the field where Murphy Fair has Coach Marshall.
Coach Marshall, 7-0. It could be better, but I know your guys are within striking distance, and this isn't the first time you guys have been behind.
No, it's not, and our kids realize that we need to play better and to take and play with better technique, and we made a few adjustments at halftime, and hopefully those will take and help us a little bit, and hopefully we'll be able to take the football when this kickoff right here and drive it down the field and score.
It'd make it an interesting game for fans on both.
It will, and we knew this was going to be a dogfight when we came into it, and you know, it's two good football teams, and if we keep hammering and playing and get our offense clicking, and hopefully we will get some points on the board, and our defense has been strong all year, and hopefully they'll be able to take and settle down and keep them out of the end zone.
Thank you very much, Ron. Guys, Ron Marshall, the head coach of the Gordonsville Tigers, has played a couple of games on this field after he left Gordonsville. He was a player at Middle Tennessee State back during the OVC days for the Blue Raiders, and he's been on this turf more times than once.
Exactly, Murph. He played, in fact, in the late 70s and early 80s for Ben Hurt, who was the predecessor to Boots Donnelly at Middle. But Coach Marshall, as you mentioned, had a pretty good college career, and his team trailing 7-0 coming into this game. Huntington, Kevin, has not surprised us that they've gone with their bread and butter, you know, and that, of course, is Warbriton, Jacob Warbriton, racking up some big yards in small portions.
Yeah.
So what's the defensive strategy this time around for the Tigers?
Well, they got to continue to get to the football. I mean, right now it seems like, excuse me, Huntington's been able to get hat on hat, and then it's basically he's not going down by the first tackler. And there's a discrepancy in total plays. Excuse me, Huntington has had 32 plays, while Gordonsville's only had 14 total plays in the first half. There's a big discrepancy in total plays and time of possession. But as we saw, one play can change the complexity of this game on both sides of the fence, and it did, but then it got negated by a penalty.
All right, and Gordonsville will receive the second half kickoff. As Kevin mentioned, they did get some production out of Kalen Kaysen, the very talented junior running back, you know, who came into this game with 1,868 yards.
You know, Mark, you look at the time of possession, 18 minutes that Huntington had the football in a 24-minute half. So that's pretty significant. You know, that's telling me they're posting their will, they're doing their thing.
There's Kalen Kaysen. The twin safeties will be Jacob Looper and Dustin Holder, with Kaysen in the middle. And Seth Fields will kick off. He has 22 touchbacks this season, and he'll get that one, make that 23. So we get our first look as Peyton Watson brings the Tigers offense out in the field, down 7-0 in this game. And understanding that they're one play away from tying this thing.
Yeah, able to see kind of halftime adjustments that they've been able to make. Coach Marshall probably got to his guys a little bit, because anytime they got something going, it was a mistake here, or breaking down the protection, a penalty, something to another, where they've been close to making something happen.
Out of that I formation with Nick Payne fronting Kalen Kaysen, who gets the touch to start the second half, and no gain, enveloped by the right side of the Huntington defensive line, led by Dylan Heineman.
Tackle credited to number 70, Pruitt. Number 16.
And Colin Pruitt also gets credit for that tackle. So no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10. And you got a lot of wind there, and you saw the wind affect the few passes that we've seen thrown by Peyton Watson. On 2nd and 10, Watson keeps. Quarterback run out. Trying to find a lane, and he'll get 3 yards. Nice form tackle by Kenneth Pruitt. It'll be 3rd down and long after a pickup of 4.
This is another, again, one of those 3rd down conversions. They did not convert a 3rd down the whole first half, so this is a money down for them.
Be 3rd down and 6. In the opening minute of play here in the 2nd half. They send 3 wide receivers to the far side.
Looks like they got 0 coverage, man-to-man.
Watson hands it off. Nice spin by Kalen Kasem out of a tackle, and he's got the 1st down at the 31.
There we go.
Finally pulling him down was Tyler Bush, the middle linebacker, but not before Kalen Kasem picked up 7 yards for Gordonsville and a Tigers 1st down, and they get that initial conversion on 3rd down.
That's good. They finally been able to convert a 3rd down. You know, they made some adjustments. They have some positive energy going right now. They got to keep it moving.
Saw the flags. What, about a 2-club win, Kevin? Watson fakes the handoff, keeps it. Oh, probes the right side and gets about 3. And Peyton Watson this season rushed for over 1,300 yards. So he and Kalen Kasem a formidable 1-2 punch on the ground.
All on the 33. 2nd down.
Caleb Bush checking into the game. That 3-yard gain. It's 2nd and 7. Gordonsville with the first possession of the 2nd half. Again, it's Watson flying solo. Steps out of 1 tackle, and he's finally dropped after he gets to about the 36-yard line. Logan Diebold was there to throw him down.
They ran
4-yard gain.
They run the counter play with the quarterback, you know, fake a zone to the backside and just pull the both tackle and the guard from the backside, and he gets right behind him. Had a good run in there, but that backside backer did a good job pursuing and making a play and wrapping him up.
You saw Watson evade that first defender, and now he's looking at a 3rd and 4. Kasem getting the call.
He didn't get it.
Pushes ahead, and he's short of the 1st down. Coming up to stop him was Glenn Hilliard, who has done a very good job of tackling. Only a 1-yard gain. So it'll be 4th down and 2.
You know, I will say this about Huntington's defense. They are wrapping up very well. They're not allowing them now, for, you know, other than that big run, they're now allowing them to get that extra yards after contact, and that's been pretty significant. They've had that 1 run that they broke, and that's where they missed a few tackles. But ever since then, it seems like they've been able to wrap them up.
It looks like they're going to go for it. Nick Payne's the punter. They're going to go out of a quick count, and now a timeout is called.
That's an early timeout in a 7-0 ball game with 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter. So let's see what he dials up here.
Was that just a tactic to try to draw Huntington off, you know, defensive line offside and try to get that 1st down?
Or they were trying to see how they lined up to a certain set, and maybe they're going to come out now and say, if they line up like this is the play we run, if they line up like this is what we run. So, you know, it's 4th and short. You need to get something positive going. You still got plenty of time in a 7-0 ball game, but, you know, how confident are you right now that your defense is going to be able to stop Mr. Warburton?
The offensive line for Gordonsville's had a great year. Tyler Cohen, as we mentioned, the Tennessee Titans Mr. Football. He's a finalist last year, and said that after not winning it a year ago, it really pushed him to work even harder. But they also feel like their man in the middle, Luke Pierce, is their leader. Jesse Harris, that left side guard, maybe the biggest surprise on this team. And they're again going for it on 4th and 2. Here's Watson giving it to Kaysen, who spins out of a tackle across midfield. Kalen Kaysen has the first down as he tried to cut it back up. He stepped out of bounds at the 44, but a gain of 17 and a first down and a lot of energy on the Gordonsville sideline.
As soon as I bragged about them wrapping up and not missing tackles, there's a few missed tackles right there. They had the opportunity to stop him for a very short gain and possibly not even allow him to get a first down.
Kalen Kaysen spinning out of that tackle.
Spinning out of arm tackles.
He only needs 138 yards to get to 3,000 career yards. And he's got 94 in this game. So on first down in Huntington territory, here's Kaysen again, jitterbugging ahead to the 37-yard line. 7-yard pickup for Kalen Kaysen.
It's almost like Mr. Cohen went in halftime said, run behind me. Because they have some successes right side of the line. That's what Cohen is. So, you know, maybe there's something to it. Maybe they say we're going to run behind our guy, Mr. Football, and, you know, we're going to see what happens.
Second down and 3 after that 7-yard pickup. Like Huntington, Gordonsville getting it done on the ground and surging ahead for 2 is Kaysen Kalen again. Kalen Kaysen again. So it'll bring up 3rd down and short after that 2-yard pickup.
It's a very short football game. They keep running this football. The clock keeps moving.
You would presume they're in 4-down territory as they'll snap it from the 35. Mason gets it again. He's close to the first down. Leading that surge, Colin Pruitt and Trevor Burleson, the right side of the Huntingdon line.
And number 70, Roy, leading the tackle.
But it looks like he's got the first. And that is confirmed by Bobby Garrison, the lead official. So another first down for the Big Blue. On a drive that has already consumed five minutes. Evading a tackler is Watson. Gets inside the 30 up to the 26-yard line. Logan Diebold finally hauled him down from behind. But another big pickup for Peyton Watson. Not a first down, but it'll bring up 2nd and short.
Just a play-action boot. Basically, it's a keeper all the way because they had an unbalanced set. The lineman, I mean, the receiver is actually was eligible. The tight end's ineligible. So it's just a call play, just keeping the ball into your hands of your playmakers.
Skidded to a halt just inside the 26-yard line. They gave him 8 on 2nd and 2. Play action. Watson pulls it down. He's going to keep it. Watson puts his shoulder down.
Yeah, he needed to throw that one away.
And he took a loss on that play of 1.
Warbritton on the sack.
How about that? Quarterback on quarterback violence. Jacob Warbritton getting it done on both sides of the ball. But that changes the equation a little bit.
Yeah, he probably should have thrown that one away. I know he's trying to make something happen, but you got to recognize the situation as a quarterback. You're talking about 2nd and 2. Now you're talking about 3rd medium.
13th play of the drive. They got to get to the 24. And they got Kaysen getting the job done. He fumbles it. Who's got it? It looks like Huntington's got it. Mustangs ball.
Another disheartening moment for Gordonsville. You talk about the blocked field goal for a touchdown negated by a penalty. Talk about the big runs that keep going back with a big sack. And now this, a turnover, and you're moving the ball, and you're moving the chains, and you got everything going, momentum, and you give them life. Give them
Kenneth Pruitt dislodged the ball. It looked like Trevor Burleson. Actually, Pruitt not only dislodged the ball, he recovered it. First turnover of the game. And on first down, nearly a botch play. Warbritton keeps it and picks up a yard. So a plus play on what could have been disastrous. So we'll see how Gordonsville handles a little adversity. The Mustangs have the ball back. And after that time-consuming, almost six-minute drive, Gordonsville comes up empty. Well, there's Warbritton's Howard ledger for the season, and he's going to pick up some more as he stopped at about the 29-yard line. Getting the initial push was Nick Payne. So it'll be third down, about 6.
Number 46, trading with the tackle is Nick Payne.
We'll call it a long 5.
Well, this is a definite rundown for them.
We take 77 to get to that line.
Well, you see that he's passed Deshaun Mobley at 30-68, but on third down, they're stopped short. So it looks like Huntingdon is going to have to punt the ball away.
It does look like he's in a hurry to make that call. Looks like he's thinking about it.
Boy, fourth down and about 1.5. This would be a big gamble. That's what they do. Right. So we'll see if it's a Seth Fields punt. And it doesn't appear to be. So here we go, 4th and 2.
Good
tries
push.
the right side. I don't know if he got it.
He didn't get it.
Wow.
Great push by Gordonsville. That was a great push and actually winning the battle up front that time.
Tyler Cohen led that committee of tacklers for Gordonsville.
Yeah, he didn't get that. Yeah, look at this, sir. Great push. Who was that?
Well, initially it was Cody Payne.
Cody Payne, that's a great push.
But there were a number of other blue jerseys in there.
Yeah, this is just for drama's sake, but it doesn't look like they got it from here.
Caleb Bush also stuck his nose in there, and it's going to be tackled ball. So a big gamble comes up snake eyes for Huntingdon. And Gordonsville has a short field and an opportunity to tie the game. They got a mulligan.
Yes, another prime
after
opportunity.
That fumble on their initial possession this half.
How many of these opportunities have they had? I mean, at some point, they got to take advantage of it because they're going to run out of them.
Hayden Watson on first down, gives it to Kaysen. Tough 2. Logan Diebold right there. Diebold's a strong physical player. Makes great reads. This drive starting in Huntington territory for the first time this game. So we'll see how opportunistic the Big Blue are. On 2nd down and 8. Kaysen again.
Warbritton.
Boy. Warbritton comes up and just destroys that play, blows it up well behind the line of scrimmage. So it'll bring up 3rd down and long. Play might have lost a yard.
Look at Mr. Warbritton just stepping up, doing it all for his team, trying to build his team to a state championship.
He is not goal bricking on defense, is Jacob Warbritton. No, they gave him no gain. It'll be 3rd and 9. Watson up the fake jet sweep under duress. Watson pulls it down, trying to turn the corner, can't do it. Gets inside the 30, but that's it. So Watson did make something out of nothing, a 3-yard gain, when it looked like he was trapped well behind the line of scrimmage. It'll bring up a 4th and 7.
Oh, looks like they were trying to set up a screen here.
Dylan Hindman initially gave him some trouble. Finally, Kenneth Pruitt shoved him out of bounds. So 4th and 6.
Four, 3, 2.
And they called the timeout before the play clock ran out of necessity. This might be the biggest play of the game for the Tigers.
It definitely is. I mean, again, they're about to run out of opportunities here. They've been given a few opportunities. They made some plays and then gone backwards. They blocked the field goal, got a penalty. They've moved the chains, turned the ball over. I mean, eventually these opportunities are going to cease.
Catch all the action on demand. Comcast subscribers can watch all 8 of the 2012 Blue Cross Bowl championships on Xfinity On Demand starting the week after the games. Press the On Demand button on your Comcast remote, select Get Local and choose Sports, and then select High School Sports. So 4th and 6, facing Peyton Watson and the Gordonsville Tigers. The Huntingdon defense so far coming up big on this possession. 3 Gordonsville drives have started in Huntingdon territory.
See what Coach has dialed up here.
And you see them continuing to move personnel around.
Please
they might have a problem with the clock.
To 2:44.
Well, one thing in Gordonsville's favor, they're 1 for 1 on 4th downs. So we'll see how that factors into this snap. The Mustangs leading 7-0. They have gone occasionally to Noah King, the tight end, who's lined up on the far side. And they like Austin Vaden, who you'll see flanked out to the near side. So on 4th and 6, here we go. Watson, the quick throw. And he's got his man inside the 20 up to the 15-yard line. Jacob Looper on the receiving end of that throw. The first completion of the game. Yeah. And it picks up 15 and a Tigers first down.
Good play call. He just a delayed crosser from the number 3 receiver from the outside, or excuse me, number 1 receiver. And a good ball. He delivered it at a strike and gave him the opportunity to catch it and run with it, make sure he secured the first down.
Only the 9th catch this season for Jacob Looper. Deepest penetration of the game for the Tigers.
They can almost run it again. They're lined up the exact same way.
Here's Watson keeping it. Gets to the second level inside the 10. Watson inside the 5.
On the keeper.
Finally, called down.
Tackled by Steve Stover, number 23.
Steve Stover coming up to make the stop.
This is what you expect from championship caliber teams. They're showing a resiliency, a willingness to want to do what it takes to win a football game. It's a tight football game. Huntington seemed to be in complete control of this game, but this third quarter with the adjustments coaches made, or even it might not even be adjustment, it just might be a will, a want to right now, and they're going out here and trying to get these points on the board.
First and goal from the 4. Kaysen gets the handoff, surges in for the touchdown. Kalen Kaysen, 28th touchdown of the year. And Gordonsville is a conversion away from tying this game.
Hey, we've seen the special teams over and over again. You know, this is not a gimme. It's supposed to be, but we've seen it in championship games. We've seen it in regular season games. It's windy out here. This is an important extra point.
Christian Bear will make the attempt. Out of the hold of Austin Baden.
Uh-oh.
And he got it. Just inside that left upright.
He tried to make it dramatic, didn't he? It was close.
So late in the third quarter, we have a tie game. Well, Gordonsville makes the most of its mulligan.
Yes, they do. This is an important drive.
Let's check out the day for Kalen Casey after that 6-play, 34-yard drive and that 4-yard touchdown run. He has played a prominent role in the Tigers' offense, as we expected. Almost 1,900 yards coming into this game, and he is edging towards 2,000 for the season as he went in for that score.
Yeah.
His 28th touchdown and his biggest of the season. He's got 113, so he is almost at 2,000 for the season. So Tyler Cohen will kick it off for Gordonsville. You see Glenn Hilliard back near his 10. They don't usually kick it deep to the Tigers. And that is almost an onside kick. And running up at midfield and past midfield in the Gordonsville territory, a 16-yard return. Getting credit for that was Steve Stover. So you get to see Jacob Warbriton and the Huntingdon offense now in a tie game, but with a relatively short field. So we'll see how that strategy affects this possession, Kevin.
You know, it seems like you give teams short fields, both of these teams. They've capitalized, well, I shouldn't say that. Gordonsville has only capitalized one time. But Huntington, I'm assuming they're going to do something and capitalize on a short field.
And Warbriton on the first try. Gets up to the 45, a minimal gain.
That's Brandon McCoy, who will be coming he's coming to be a defensive stalwart. He had 11 tackles at the halftime, giving him 12 for the game right now. He is becoming the storyline for the Gordonsville team on the defense side of football.
Nary a yard, so we'll just call it 2nd down and 10 from the 45. First Mustangs drive that has started in Gordonsville territory. On 2nd down, he's looking to throw. Has a man downfield, and he overshoots Taylor McCarty. Or rather, that was Jacob Blake, his tight end. So the first pass attempted by Jacob Warbriton falls incomplete.
I like the play call. It was kind of aggressive. You're talking about going into the fourth quarter, 9 it up. You still have a short field. It's 3rd and 10, it's 3rd and long. But even still, if you miss this opportunity to convert this 3rd down, you still have an opportunity to pin them deep. And they haven't gone the length of the field on you. They scored it on a short field. So I like the play call. It's aggressive.
Good coverage by Jacob Looper. Inside handoff, Stover across the 40, up to the 36 and close to the first down. So we'll see exactly how that plays in to Eric Swenson's strategy. He went for it on his own 34. It's 4th down and 1. We got to assume he's going to go for it again after that 8-yard pickup by Steve Stover.
Does anybody else touch this ball but Warbriton?
In the final seconds of the 3rd quarter, Warbriton punches it through the left side and gets the first down. And that'll be the last play of the quarter as he gets inside the 35. So they'll move the chains and start the clock. And they'll probably walk to the other side of the field as Huntingdon will start the 4th quarter just inside the Gordonsville 35. So this is everything we asked for. We knew it was going to be close to an even game. That's what we've got with 3 quarters in the books. Mustangs 7, Tigers 7. Buckle up. It should be a fun 4th quarter.
So your school spirit by testing your school. School with the most text.
The 2012 Blue Cross Bowl is brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, proud corporate sponsor of the TSSAA, and by the Governor's Highway Safety Office, who reminds you don't drink and drive, and by Xfinity, your home for the most live sports, and by Honda, wishing you happy Honda days, and by your local Tennessee public television stations, proud hosts of the 2012 TSSAA Blue Cross Bowl Championship.
Take me home tonight. You can choose the back seat, or we'll choose one for you.
Want to know what it feels like watching sports on Xfinity from Comcast? It's like having a front row seat to all the action.
What is this?
The biggest hits, catches, home runs, and touchdowns. The moment they happen. When you have the most live sports, the best seat in the house is in your house.
We can get a player up here. Oh, that's good stuff. All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
All right, sort of a festive mood here in Cookeville this weekend, of course, for the Blue Cross Bowl, as we have Huntington and Gordonsville tied at 7-7 going into the 4th quarter. And we should acknowledge that our lead official, Thomas Rice, after 28 years, officiating his final game, and we salute his great career. So starting at the 34 on 1st down, Jacob Warbritton in Huntington, and handing off and getting inside the 30.
Oh, good tackle. Try to get his Charles Tillman on, strip it while you're tackling him. I like it.
Glenn Hilliard picks up good yardage as he gets inside the 30. 5-yard pickup. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Look how Peyton comes up and Peyton Watson, excuse me, and he secures the tackle and then try to strip it, try to a la Charles Tillman.
So here's Warbritton surveying a 2nd and 5. Stover gets it, and Stover darts inside the 30 up to the 26.
Number 23 on the carry is Stover.
Doing a good job in cramped quarters, did Steve Stover. So it'll bring up a 3rd down and short at the 26 of Gordonsville.
You know, that 3rd quarter was complete contrast to the first half of the game. Gordonsville has made this game, obviously the score is the same, but statistically it's even closer now.
Mustangs with a 3rd down and long 1. Warbritton left side, 1st down. To the 23.
Oh, Notre Dame single wing offense.
46 makes
the 4 horsemen.
Warbritton with 31 carries for 149 yards. Pretty good day's work, and he's not done yet. So a 1st down for the Mustangs. And they'll snap it with just under 10.5 minutes to go in regulation. Warbriton takes it, left tackle, inside the 20 up to the 18-yard line. Ridden down by Jacob Looper. So a good initial pickup, 5 yards, 2nd and 5.
Well, let's move to the 18. It is 2nd down, 5.
Looper has 42 touchdowns this season. There's the handoff to Stover. And Stover looks like he has the first down inside the 15 up to the 13. That's where he had to go.
Number 32 to make the tackle, Halliburton.
Very close to a first down. We'll see if they measure. I think they're going to bring the chains in. No, they say first down.
You know, Huntington is taking well advantage of that short field they were given by the blue kick.
These Mustangs, a close bunch. Players have a spaghetti dinner before every game. Warbriton, again, the left side, tries to turn the corner, pulling away from one tackler. He was in the arms of Brandon McCoy. We got a tough couple.
Hey, Huntington's going to protect this football. Looks like Gordonsville's tackling the football now. They're not only wrapping up, they're trying to get the football out.
Well, they give him the 11, so it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Ball is at the 12. It'll be 2nd down.
Huntington scored the first touchdown of this game, a Warbriton run, but then Gordonsville tied it. There's the inside handoff. Hilliard gets inside the 10, but that's it.
Here's to number 11, Hilliard. Number 53.
So it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Making the stop.
And Nick Payne walled him off. So it'll be 3rd down, and we'll say about 6. Nick bringing the Payne.
Again, we sound redundant, but this is a critical 3rd down, obviously. If they can hold it to a field goal here, it'd be critical.
12th play of the drive. Warbriton rolls out, and he's going to run into the end zone.
Good play.
Touchdown, Mustangs. Jacob Warbriton, 9-yard run. Showing a little athleticism there at the end of the run to get into the end zone.
Hey, good coverage, but they forgot about the most important man on the field, the guy with the football. You had to protect the football first, but obviously, you know, you don't want to give a big play in a pass play, but kudos to Jacob Warbriton, recognizing that the running lane was there and just keeping the ball in his hands.
Austin Herrera on for the extra point.
To attempt the extra point.
And Herrera's got it, and again, a 7-point lead for Huntington. So the Mustangs answer after Gordonsville tied the game at 7-7. Now 14-7.
Look at this run. He comes out the gut. There's nobody in the flat, not even a defender. He said, I'm just going to take this. Even if he gets tackled there at the 1-yard line, you got to believe they're going to punch that in. So that's, you know, just good decision-making process by your leader, by your quarterback, going out there and keeping that football and getting the score.
That offense, that single wing offense, requires the quarterback to make spin moves. What's the purpose of that?
You just misdirection. You know, if you get guys looking to the backfield and you think he's handing it off, and then he comes back out the gut with the ball to the opposite side, things of that nature. It's just trying to take advantage of young defenders not reading their run keys.
So 14-7. And we'll see if Gordonsville can answer. It's a great thing about high school football. You see a garden variety of offenses.
Oh, wow. I mean, this is one of those old school offenses. And, you know, in the day and age of everybody going to a spread look, you know, a lot of people don't have time to game plan or scheme for a single wing or a double wing offense anymore, because most everybody's doing spread type offenses.
12 plays, 45 yards on that.
Oh, my goodness.
Dustin Holder just got hammered. J.D. Williams was the one who put the wood to Holder.
Oh my goodness.
So Peyton Watson.
Dana took his helmet off. Oh my God.
It wasn't even a decleater, that was a dehelmeter.
It looked like something big was about to happen, and all of a sudden just, wow. Woo, my goodness, you gotta love that if you love football.
So on first down from the 24. There he goes, Kaysen across the 35, across the 40. And a first down on the initial play of this drive, which picks up 15 yards. So Kalen Kaysen running effectively. He's got a $129 today.
Wow.
On 19 carries.
He's closing in on his personal
2,000.
First down. 2,000-yard season as well.
So it's a first down for the Tigers. Here's the fake. Watson up the middle. Dances across the 45 up to the 48. Good bit of running there by Peyton Watson.
Quarterback counter.
Jacob Blake downfield from his defensive end station to make the stop, but not until Peyton Watson picked up close to 10 yards.
Yeah, quarterback counter. Again, you're trying to get the linebackers to flow with the back, and the quarterback keeps it as the guard and tackle are pulling in the opposite direction.
So they're going to bring out the chains to determine if it's a first down or a second and short. So a good initial response from the Tigers after they fall behind again, 14-7. Little meat left on that bone. Couple of links of the chain. So second and very short for Gordonsville when they resume. As we get under 7 minutes to go in regulation. Eric Swenson's team nursing a 14-7 lead. Special thank you to Blue Waters Rental for donating a scissor lift to us for our camera use in the end zone. And there's Mike. When you rent from Blue Waters Equipment Rental, you'll find tools for indoor and outdoor projects, plus items for parties and special events. We got to get a scissor lift for your next party, Kevin.
Hey, you never know. I might have a paintball party and have snipers up there.
Sounds good. On second down and short, Peyton Watson's going to throw. Looking downfield, now he pulls it down, keeps it, has the first down and more as he ventures into Huntingdon territory. But another first down for Peyton Watson and the Tigers after a 9-yard pickup.
You know, I like the aggressive play call. You figure, why not take a shot? You're talking about second inches. You believe you're going to get it on third down. Take a shot. See if you may be able to gash him for a big play and get a quick score. And now you still got the first down. So, you know, it's good aggressive play call.
They'll snap it from the 42 of Huntington. And it'll be a first down for Gordonsville. Watson again, right side, cuts it up inside the 35, down to the 31. So Peyton Watson's fast feet pick up another 9 yards. And a first down for the Tigers.
Again, they've been able to run this quarterback counter effectively here in the second half. And they found something that they made some kind of adjustment for going into halftime, and been pretty effective. You know, even when he hasn't breaking a 9-10-yard run, they've been getting positive yards out of that play.
Here's Watson putting in the belly of Kalen Kasem, spins out of a tackle across the 20 up to the 19, and now all of a sudden the Tigers, like a hot knife through butter, slicing through the Mustangs defense. 11 yards and another first down.
Another first down.
Just a nice spin move. Good. He's agile, understands running lanes, setting up blocks. Does a good job.
Down to the 20. Watson on first down, going to keep it. Watson turns the corner on the left side, inside the 10. Finally shoved out of bounds by Taylor McCarty.
It's run that quarterback counter again, trying to get behind the big lineman, but there was a lane outside. Sometimes you got to make it be a football player and find your own running lane. He was able to get him a big gain there, set 9 yards.
Picked up 9.
Is he closing in on the 100 as well, Mark?
He's got to be close. Last Joe, our stat man, what Peyton Watson's rushing numbers are. He's got 67 rushing yards.
Quarterback counter.
He's got more than that as he runs out of 1 tackle and surges ahead to the 6. It'll be a 1st and goal for Gordonsville as the nimble Peyton Watson picks up 5. Let's go down on the field to Murphy Fair. What do you got, Murph?
Well, Mark, we all know I've been following Gordonsville a long time, and I can't help but think about that '84 championship game when they defeated ECS. That game came in double overtime. We're looking all over overtime right now if Gordonsville can score.
Here's Watson on 1st and goal. And trapped behind the line, Kalen Kaysen for a loss. Several white jerseys there. But Logan Diebold was the most prominent. Loss of 2.
Again, now as you get down to this goal line, they're trying to find a way to stop this drive and stop the bleeding a little bit. Maybe try and create a turnover, tackling the football.
Seth Fields also contributing on that play. 2nd and goal from the 8. We're inside of 5 minutes. Watson fakes it. Watson to the edge, and he's pulled down.
That's a big tackle there.
A great form tackle by Jacob Blake. Lost 2 yards. And now all of a sudden, Gordonsville's in the soup. 3rd down and goal from the 10.
Again, they're going back to that quarterback counter again, trying to get behind the tackle. And there was no running lane, so they try to bounce it outside. But you know what? Sometimes you got to be a little more patient and let that hole develop. He got a little impatient and bounced that a little too quickly. And that defense in when they run down. He would have been able to find a crease on the inside.
9th play of this drive. 3 receivers split to the near side. Here's Watson, wants to throw. Inside and into the end zone. Jacob Looper. Touchdown, Gordonsville. 10-yard touchdown throw from Peyton Watson to Jacob Looper. 2nd catch of the game. And now
are they going for 2?
The Tigers are a conversion away from tying it.
Just again, a play they ran earlier, send 2 guys vertical and run a kind of a delayed cross from the number 1 receiver.
Significant injury, though, Kevin. Tyler Cohen, Tennessee Titans, Mr. Football, limping off the field. He's their left tackle on offense and also a stalwart on their defensive line.
Yeah,
so we'll try to determine the extent of this injury. But it would certainly hurt Gordonsville up front.
Big day for a positive note. Big day for Loper, his 2nd touchdown catch of the season. It just, you know, you hate to see something like this. Mr. Football guy, a guy obviously going to play the next level, emotional and senior leader on this team. But we'll see how they respond. You know, usually sometimes adverse situation makes everybody respond to the positive.
Jacob Looper, as you mentioned, on the payoff end of 2 touchdown passes, both touchdowns. And while we have a little bit of time, let's check out our fan of the game. It's our version of Blue Man Group. Brought to you by Xfinity, your home for most live sports. Get exclusive coverage of the 2012 Blue Cross Bowl Football Championships on Xfinity On Demand.
Yeah! There we go!
Blue Man
They
Group,
earned
I like
it.
that one. That was a good one.
They earned it. All right, so 14-13. And would Ron Marshall contemplate a 2-point conversion here? Woo. Down in the field, the Murphy Fair.
Well, Mark, the limping lasted as long as he got to the out-of-bounds mark, and then he put his full weight on it. That was the response you heard from the crowd. Looks like Tyler Cohn's going to be okay.
Murph, it looks like they're going for 2.
Uh-oh.
So here we go.
Gutsy call. I'm trying to win a championship call. Not a lot of coaches have the guts to do this.
And maybe they found something. They've got some confidence in the pass. And they might feel like Watson, by the way, 2 of 5 for 25 yards.
Quarterback counter, zone away, or sprint out.
Here's Watson.
Speed option.
Going with the option pitch.
No.
Mason is stopped. Is stopped. And again, Logan Diebold, who has had such a great game at outside linebacker. The Gordonsville drive, 9 plays, 76 yards.
Hey, you're not going to say that Coach Marshall doesn't have any guts. I mean, it takes a very confident man in your team to go for it with 3:48 left in the game, in a game that you can easily go into overtime with possibly. You know, I'm not worried about Huntington going down there and scoring in 3 minutes. They're going to try to run the clock. So, you know, it's a very gutsy call.
But remember, Gordonsville only has 1 timeout left.
Oh.
So essentially, for Huntingdon, they're only a few first downs away from putting this game in the deep freeze.
They really are. They're about three, probably 3 good first downs and the game's over.
Could be a steady diet of Jacob Warbriton. So they pseudo onside kicked it last time.
Yeah, I was going to say, I wouldn't be surprised if you go ahead and try to onside kick this, considering the fact he went for 2.
How much do you practice the onside kick?
We actually do it.
Kicking games in high school are not usually as sophisticated as...
We actually, at Independence, we pretty much practice it twice a week. So we put some time with it all the time.
Stressful times for both coaches. Ron Marshall on the right, Eric Swenson on the left.
Yeah.
And you got a stiff wind they're kicking into. Talking about Gordonsville.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those calls where, as a coach, you go to every game, win or lose, and
Brandon
you sit
McCoy
there.
with the swim, and they got it!
It's recovered.
Gordonsville recovers the onside kick. And it looked like it went the requisite 10 yards.
Wow. Oh, my gosh. Now, depending on how the outcome comes, there's a couple calls you're going to think about. You're going to talk about the 2-point conversion and this onside kick and the negated touchdown. There's going to be some plays where Coach Marshall is going to go back, watch the film, and like why or yay or whatever he's going to do when he evaluates it. But
we don't see any flags.
A very gutsy call. The way that ball was rolling, I could see why Huntington was hesitant to go after it. The ball didn't look like it was going 10, and all of a sudden it took a screaming bounce to the 10-yard mark.
And Noah King was there with the recovery.
They found something in this formation.
And not happy about it is Eric Swenson. 2 yards on first down. So they're inside the 45. And one way or the other, this possession will essentially decide the outcome of this championship game.
Yes, it will.
It'll be 2nd down and 6.
You got that Chris Berman, that tick, 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 tick. You got that the clock's ticking down. You got the wind to your back. That's a factor. We seen the kicker bloop, onside kick. So, you know, this wind could be a factor if you try to win it with a field goal.
On 2nd down. Watson hands it off to Case and it's stopped. It'll be 3rd down and about 4.
Look like from here he tried to cut back just a little too soon. Like
2 yards.
Like he kept following his lineman, he might have had a bigger play.
Now we'll see again, checking this onside kick.
I mean, good look at it. It looks like
10.
It's not going 10. Then all of a sudden it screams, and it's at 10. It's at 10.
He was over midfield. The 3rd down and 4. Showing blitz. Watson turns the corner. Watson inside the 30. Watson inside the 20. Watson all the way for a Gordonsville touchdown. Peyton Watson, 41 yards to the house. So a stunning turn of events in the last few minutes of this game. And Gordonsville on top for the first time in this game.
Yes, he thought about throwing that, but then he saw that running lanes. We talked about Warbriton doing it earlier. Just a big-time player make a big-time play in a big-time game.
He outran Taylor McCarty. And the final timeout called by Gordonsville. They will no doubt go for 2.
You know, the other significant thing about this is neither one of these teams are necessarily go down the field 2-minute drill type offenses. They would rather gut it out, 4 yards in a cloud of dust. So play clock is very critical. We're talking about 2.5 minutes, 2:20. It's going to be interesting to see what Huntington comes up with.
You saw Peyton Watson as a freshman and sophomore. He started at wide receiver. And there's Peyton's mom. A very happy woman right now.
He may have just stolen the offensive MVP from Mr. Jacob Warbrick.
Down in the field, the Murphy Fair. Murph, what do you got?
Well, a great camera shot there of Peyton Watson's mother, but 45 minutes before the game even started, she was standing exactly where she is right now. Tears streaming cheeks, just being caught up in the moment.
It's her son's final high school game, and he is certainly stealing the spotlight here, rising to the occasion as they go for the 2-point conversion.
Got jet motion.
Watson rolling, looking to throw, keeps it. Watson.
Got it. He got it.
Got it.
He got it.
Initially it looked like he was short, but he broke the plane.
He got that ball across the plane. It's just a great football play. He probably could have thrown it and converted. But hey, when in doubt, keep the ball in your hands and make a play.
So 21-14 Gordonsville after a 3-play, 47-yard drive.
That's a heck of a football play there by Peyton.
Capped by Peyton Watson's 41-yard run. Here it is again.
Yeah, he's
and
all
he stretched it.
He's there. 2 big-time plays by Peyton Watson. Big-time plays.
So the first touchdown for Gordonsville was Kalen Kasem going 4 yards for the touchdown. And then after falling behind 14-7, you had Jacob Looper latching on to a Peyton Watson touchdown pass. And then Watson, looking like he was going to throw, pulls it down.
All right,
skirts the left sideline for 41 yards and the go-ahead touchdown.
Here we are again with special teams, Mark.
Yep.
The kicker, they blooped it one time and gave a 16-yard return, gave him a short field that led to give him that 14 points, the second touchdown of the night for Warbrick. And now you talk about it again. You kick it deep, you got to cover. We've seen a block extra point, or excuse me, a block field goal. We've seen an onside kick. We've seen bloop kicks. They gave them a short field. We'll see what they come up with right here.
Brandon McCoy to kick it.
Uh-oh.
Gets it down to the 22.
Is that Warbriton too?
Warbriton to the 40. Warbriton midfield. Warbriton.
Oh my goodness.
Gordonsville territory, so it'll be a short field for the
Oh my goodness. This adds to the drama. Just keep adding to the drama.
37 yards on that return.
You know, the last person on the field you probably wanted to kick it to was Jacob Warbrick. You just had to know the senior was going to try to find a way to make a play for his ball club. And now they got a short field. Clock is not necessarily as big a factor as it once was.
2 timeouts left for Huntingdon. And they'll start this drive on the 42. On first down, Stover. Stover inside the 35 to the 34. They're going to go inside of 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
9-yard pickup.
I don't think there's a person sitting down here on the Gordonsville sideline. I mean, they're pretty much, just about everybody's on their feet right now. And now the Huntington fans are standing up.
Warbriton, this time it's Hilliard. Hilliard trying to get around
the
edge.
No, he got loose.
Tackle.
He got loose.
Hilliard is going to take it in for a touchdown.
It is a touchdown.
You got to be kidding me.
Glenn Hilliard.
Touchdown by
with the touchdown.
This is just, I will not be denied run right here. This is, I want to win this championship game. Are they going for 2?
34 yards on that touchdown, and we'll see if they're going to go for 2.
Oh my gosh, they're going for 2. But look at this run right here. This should have been dead in the water right there. And then when he looks for this cutback, this should have been dead in the water. This, I will not go down. And then it's just a foot race to the end zone. Good cutback.
This is looking very much like win or else.
Oh my goodness. Great football game. It started off just kind of a running back and forth, eat the clock up. Looked like it was going to be like a 7-9 type game, and now look at it.
All right, let's check out our move of the game. This Blue Cross Bowl move of the game brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, promoting health, style, and active lifestyle among Tennessee's young people. Kalen Case of Gordonsville providing us with our move of the game. Couple of spins there. So a touchdown run by Glenn Hilliard, the sophomore running back for Huntingdon, in what has been an incredible final 4 minutes of this 1A championship game. And they're going for it, so here we go.
Uh-oh, they got numbers.
Warbritton left side.
Oh my goodness!
Short. Warbritton tackled short, leading the charge for Huntingdon again. It was Brandon McCoy for Gordonsville. Woo! So, Jacob Warbritton.
You can't help but take deep breaths in this game, man. I mean, it's just like dramatic play after dramatic play ever since the start of this fourth quarter. It's just been a crazy chain of events going on.
Well, they knew what was going on, and again, Brandon McCoy, who's been in the middle of everything, whether a successful onside kick. That drive, by the way, 2 plays, 42 yards, but that's not the story.
Mr. McCoy has been the defensive player of the game since the beginning of that game. He had 8 tackles in the first quarter alone. So he's just been continuing to make plays. Oh, my goodness.
Brandon McCoy, if he plays his cards right, will be our defensive MVP.
Win or lose, he's defensive MVP in my book.
Coach Ron Marshall. Gone through the ringer, as has Eric Swenson, his opposite number for Huntingdon.
Here are those moments as a coach where you think, have I prepared them well enough for this situation? How many times we go over onside kick? How many times we go over the hands team? Are they ready? Do they know their job? We saw one time that where they were able to convert when I'm talking about the Gordonsville side and Huntington wasn't. So we'll see what happens.
You can check out live highlights and full game replays at youtube.com/PlayOnSportsNetwork as Gordonsville recovers that onside kick. Now remember, Huntingdon does have 2 timeouts.
Yes.
So they might have a chance to get the ball back. You can also join the conversation about high school sports, not only in Tennessee, but across the country. Follow us on Twitter and Facebook at PlayOnSports.
Yeah. You got to believe they're going to go to a 2 tight end type set, try to get 1 first down to seal the deal. This is a very good job.
Nick Payne.
That was big linebacker.
And the fullback.
Good hands. Are they going to a victory formation already? Taking a knee. Every head coach's favorite play.
Well, but they can't run the clock out.
No.
Got to be deflating for Huntingdon. The Mustangs led this game 7-0, 14-7. And just when they fell behind, 21-14, Glenn Hilliard resurrects hope.
Man, we talked about
with a touchdown run
with Coach Marshall, and with how there's going to be a couple of plays where he's thought about, oh, should I have gone for that 2-point conversion? And it worked out for him. Coach Swenson, on the other hand, we'll see how this works out for him.
You might want to hang on to this game and to purchase a copy of this contest or any of the other Blue Cross Bowl championship games, go to TSSAA network.com and look for the green Buy Now button. Log on today and take home a memory that will last a lifetime, and this game will certainly create memories that will last lifetimes on both sides. Now they're going to run a play.
Oh,
There's
good
Watson
block. Good
trying
block.
the left side. Watson close to the first down. And if he's got it, this game really is over. He's short.
He's short. Coach has got to eat up timeout.
And we'll see if they burn that last timeout or if they wait. Play picked up 9. It'll be 3rd down and 1. So they're going to wait.
You know, the sad part, this is going to come down to a coach's decision when people talk about this game. Where should he have gone for 2? Should he have kicked the extra point and sent this game to overtime?
Yeah.
We'll see. You know, but I like it. I don't know if he felt the need or the urge to kind of match wits with Coach Marshall and his aggressiveness, going for 2 and going for the win. Or he felt confident in what his kids been able to do. They've been able to run the football game long. He put the ball in the hands of his best player.
It looks like this penalty will go against Gordonsville, which changes the equation. Delay of game. It stops the clock too.
Yes.
Which is big for Huntingdon.
And now it's a little harder to get that first down.
So they'll snap it from the 46 with just under 46 seconds to go in regulation in what has been a wild ride of a championship game. Oh, there's Watson, trapped behind the line, evades trouble. Watson,
that's huge.
Tackled for a loss. Now it'll bring up 4th down, and no doubt that last timeout call by Huntington. And little doubt that Gordonsville will punt the ball away. So we'll see Nick Payne. So just under 38 seconds to go, 28-20 Gordonsville. What else can happen? You figure the Mustangs will get the ball back, and right now Huntington fans a little downcast.
You know, you look at this game, they dominated the first half almost from start to the end of the half, and they did some positive things in third quarter. And it's just been the second half of the fourth quarter where things have kind of just changed momentum-wise and changed complexity of this game.
So Nick Payne's going to punt it away. And they've been pretty close to him in trying to block it.
You know, Gordonsville trying to protect that perfect season. Going to kick this to the right.
And they jumped offside. But that makes it 4th and 3. Gordonsville with that early loss to Smith County. And they've reeled off 12 straight wins since then. Huntington lost to West Carroll and Milan. They got West Carroll back in the playoffs, beat them by 31, only the second Huntington penalty.
You know, Huntington hasn't made a whole lot of
37.8 seconds.
They haven't made a whole lot of mistakes. You know, it's been missed opportunities as far as a missed couple tackles, guys not staying home on the run game, being outrun with the speed of Gordonsville's backs. You know, you can't really say there was one particular thing where Huntington lost this game other than the blocked field goal and the onside kick.
So again, Nick Payne back in punt formation. Payne. He's going to run it. And Payne is going to get the first down.
Get down. Don't go out of bounds. Get down.
Well, all they have to do now is take a knee and this thing's over.
Take a knee and it's over.
So Nick Payne
looks like they was going to do a little shovel pass, a little fake punt.
Payne, who only rushed the ball 14 times this year, and that's probably his biggest tote of the season.
And the ball's in the hands of receivers.
So a first down for Gordonsville. By the way, they're 4 for 4 on 4th downs in this game. And now they're in victory formation.
That'll do it.
Which truly will lead to victory. Huntington cannot stop the clock. In what has been a memorable 4th quarter, Gordonsville about to celebrate a championship. Their first since 1984.
Final score.
You know, this game had just about every element that you would want. You had drama, you had big plays, you had old school offense, you had zone offense, you had power offense, you had turnovers, you had mistakes, you had gutsy play calling by both coaches, going for the victory, refusing to take this game into overtime. It's just amazing to me. Most coaches are conservative, and especially in a time in a game like this, in a championship game where, you know, I don't feel like Gordonsville was going to be able to stop him if he got into the overtime. I feel like Huntington would have had the advantage.
Down to the field, the Murphy Fair, and what has to be a very happy coach, Moose Marshall. Murph.
Thanks, Mark. Moose, nobody said it was going to be easy, did they?
No, they didn't. We definitely made it a crowd-pleasing ball game today, and our kids responded and didn't quit. And by golly, we're going to be able to take that gold ball home with us today.
I've been covering high school football in Tennessee for 43 years, and I don't know that I've ever seen a finish like we saw today.
It was definitely a unique finish for sure, Murph. And we appreciate everything you do for us and high school football. And I'm so ecstatic right now, I don't know what to say.
It's all right. Congratulations to you, big guy.
Thank you.
Big Moose.
All right, the coach, understandably happy and emotional. His team, Gordonsville, winning 21-20 over the Mustangs of Huntington. When we come back, the trophy presentation. What a finish.
You can choose the back seat, or we'll choose one for you.
One match away from immortality.
This is a total team effort.
One shot at this.
Gordonsville celebrating its first state championship since 1984, prevailing 21-20 over Huntingdon High School in just an incredible finish. Fantastic fourth quarter, final 3:48, 3 touchdowns scored. Let's go down to the field for the PA and the presentations.
Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to midfield now for our post-game trophy presentation. Mr. John Carey from Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee, Bernard Childress, Executive Director of the TSSAA, and members of the TSSAA Board of Control will be presenting the awards. It is time now to recognize the most valuable players on offense and defense in this championship game. The most valuable offensive player, 2 for 5 on passing, 24 yards and a touchdown. 20 carries, 99 yards rushing, and 1 touchdown. 1.2 point conversion. Number 16, Gordonsville's Peyton Watson.
Number 1 yard.
On defense, your most valuable player with 7 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble. Number 38, Huntingdon, Logan DeBow. The Blue Cross Bowl Division I Class 1A runner-up coach is Eric Swinson. The Blue Cross Bowl Division I Class 1A runner-up team, Huntingdon. Blue Cross Bowl Division 1/1A championship coach, Ron Moose Marshall. Blue Cross Bowl Division 1/1A state champions, Gordonsville.
This one will last a lifetime. Gordonsville celebrating a state championship in a game of championship caliber, Kevin. As we mentioned, 3 touchdowns in the final 3:48, settling this issue.
You know, it was a tale of basically 2 halves. If you really want to get technical, it's a tale of really a fourth quarter, second half of a fourth quarter, where this game just kind of took a turn. It just kind of got really dramatic. There was a lot of adversity from both sides of the football. You saw both teams overcome a score and have opportunity to tie it and then go for 2 to send it and to go for the victory. Hats off to the head coaches. That shows a lot of confidence in your players and their ability to execute.
We know, of course, from the scoreboard that Gordonsville wins the championship on the field, but the text winner is Gordonsville as well. So $1,000 going out to that school. So a great day if you're a Gordonsville Tiger. Your team winning the state championship 21-20 in just a wild ride of a game. As we mentioned, 3 touchdowns in the final 3:48 and a failed 2-point conversion that has really essentially decided this championship.
Yeah, definitely.
Congratulations on the other side to Huntington. Jacob Warbriton and his teammates. You know, a great run. A heartbreaking finish to be sure, but they acquitted themselves awfully well, as you saw that tossed headgear by Gordonsville. They're posing right now, and well they should. And what has been a memorable afternoon. So 21-20, Gordonsville prevails in the 1A championship. There's a lot more football to go here, but for now, for our entire crew here in Cookeville, so long from Tucker Stadium.
Oh my gosh, I'm so proud of these young men.
Your
Yes.
hometown of Gordonsville.
And
right there in Smith County.
Yep. The town is buzzing, and there's nobody in the town for now. But I'll tell you something, there's going to be a major parade, and we're so excited. These boys have worked very hard, and I really give a big high 5 and 10 and kudos and